Hi, welcome to part 21, the missing 21 miles, part B, where we'll be going between here at Greendell to Johnsonburg. Hi, I'm Chuck Walsh and I'm president of the North Jersey Rail Commuter Association. And this is the second of 6 parts dividing up the 21 miles. From our experience in part A, we found that there are some issues with riding a bicycle. And that there will be additional challenges today. The first one will be it's a little bit warmer than it was last time when we did the Andover to Greendell section. We've also had over 2 inches of rain overnight. So as a result, don't know exactly what I'm going to encounter. There was a little bit of mud in the previous section. Who knows? So in addition to the usual, the trees, the ballast, and all that other stuff. The one saving grace, well, 2 things. This is a flat level section between here and Johnsonburg. The other saving grace is that it's a little bit shorter. It's just a little bit over 3 miles, 3.1 miles. So be off and running now, and hopefully there will be no major problems. We still have a little bit of the Greendell siding, which is with us for about maybe a half mile or so. The old one, the siding underwent several iterations and essentially ended like around 1966, right about here. So. And this used to be a bridge here at Wolf's Corner Road. So the presence of a second track up from 1958 adds more ballast and kind of complicates how things work in terms of where the ATVers have been going. There are not too many bicyclists that do this. I've never seen anyone on bicycle on the Cut-Off, and I'm finding out why. But it's not easy. But this should not have any effect upon the reactivation of the line. This is just a rail right-of-way that has returned to nature. It happens to any rail right-of-way. I can show you rights of way that had tracks on them that after not too many years look pretty overgrown. So you have to, aside from that, look at this from the point of view that this is a line that was extremely well built. It's just going to be the work to bring it back, to reactivate it. So let's take a look. 3 miles to go to Johnsonburg. That's our next stop. So I will go around my videographer, Larissa, and head on over. Okay, low bridge.
Henry Road. Looks like I can finally jump on my bike. get into the siding here. The old siding. The original siding. Cross your fingers, it gets better now because of that. Actually, it looks like you're going upgrade here, which I know can't be the possible. So I don't think it is, unless this is the one section that does go upgrade. So maybe an optical illusion. Moving around these dead branches is fun. Not as big a problem though as the ballast. As long as I don't get too big. So far the mud isn't terrible. I said so far. That could change. Keep going. On the fill here. We really are going up grade here. I mean, I don't see how we couldn't be. That's not why I'm getting them off. This is rough territory. Okay, we'll see. Signal. Old signal gone. That should give us an approximate pinpointing of our location. This is definitely upgrade. I think we found the 11 feet. Yeah, and 11 feet found me. on here for a little bit. We'll see. I don't have enough momentum. I can only upgrade here. It's only making it worse. I think that's Bear Creek. I want to say this County Road 519 coming up beside us. Challenge you keeping it going. Better as far as the eye can see, although admittedly I can't see very far beyond this with this little curve in the path. The tracks don't curve. This little straight track past Johnsonburg, but the path can meander around and obviously has been. Swear doing these videos now. Fortunately I got away with that one. Branch caught my foot. On the up pedal. That could have been a real problem. Okay. Here we go again. I can see more puddles ahead. Well, press on. Oh, you gotta be kidding. Somebody coming up behind me now. gone and left a nice trail of exhaust behind him. Phew. I'm not going to take any chances. This must have been the hill that the people in Port Morris must have hoped that was going to stop that string of cement cars in '58. That they hit this and slow down. They may have slowed down, but they kept on going and picked up speed.
Now this would be before your time, but there's the story about the set of cars that got loose at Port Morris. I'm not sure if you know about it.
Yeah, it was the cement cars. I was up here at the time. We saw them go by.
Where were you at that time?
At the creamery up here, the picture I showed you there.
Oh yeah, at
They
Johnsonburg.
just got loose and started rolling. And they rolled and rolled and rolled till they got to the cutoff there, to the water gap, and they went too fast around the curve, and they all went down to drink there. I think they're still there. You went down there and scuba dive, because that cement got hard as a rock.
So you couldn't pull them up.
Yeah. I think they're still there. I don't know, but
I mean, was this something that like you all of a sudden you happened to be there, and all of a sudden
happened to be there.
And there's this
caboose. I don't know how many cars that had, but it had cement cars. And 5 minutes later, an engine going 100 miles an hour trying to catch it, never caught up to it.
Oh, really? So there was it, because there's that legend that the engine actually tried to catch. And I kind of just
caught it, yeah, because I saw that go by.
Really?
Trying to catch them, yeah.
But he tried to catch it, but he didn't
catch it. Never got up to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So wow. I didn't. I always thought that was just like, a big story. But
my engine was chasing. I saw the engine. I might have been 10 years old, but I saw the engine.
Wow.
An old RS3. I just got away from it.
So how? I mean, this is like asking a really off-the-wall question. Any guess as to how fast the cars were going? Because if the engine's going as fast as he could, there are different estimates I've heard, but no one. I don't know if anyone really knows for sure, of course, but
the cutoff right about here is the highest point on a cutoff. So it's downhill to Blairstown, it's downhill to Port Morris. They had enough. Yeah, I can't explain it. They were rolling. Those cars are going uphill from Port Morris to here. but they had so much, I don't know whether they tried to couple onto it, and if a coupler doesn't work, it's not going to latch. You know, I think somebody gave it a hit, and away they went. They hit it so hard that it pushed it over the knoll. Once they got over this knoll here and going down toward the river, it picked up speed. Because instead of rolling uphill going 20 miles an hour, it got going 50, 60 miles an hour. For, I don't know what the speed limit around the water gap was, but it was, I'm guessing 30 miles an hour. If you had a freight train or passenger, you slowed down to go around the car, around into the Strasburg station. I don't know what the speed was at the time, but it was going way too fast. No way would that thing get around that curve. It was too much weight. As soon as it tipped, it was, you were done.
Huh. Okay. Well,
You're lucky you didn't have another train coming. You know, that would have crashed into it.
well, part of this, the story, and once again, this is trying to recollect from what others have told me, but there was a story that there actually was an eastbound train. That's why I was asking you about the
Eastbound, I don't know, they probably held it at Bell's Bridge. Bell's Bridge is,
So you were in Johnsonburg at the time, right? Because the story I heard was that there was this eastbound train that went, once again, I don't know if this is true, somehow by the signal indications knew something was coming at him, dove into the siding there and got in just at Greendell, and got in just in time before the cars that were, you know, running loose went past it.
Okay.
Once again, I don't know if that's true.
I haven't heard that one.
Okay, well, that's part of the version I had, but I hadn't heard that. Well, you were, eyewitness, so you saw that engine going after the thing. Amazing! Wow.
The engine was going quite fast. He just, as soon as that, I don't know how many was in the string, 7, 8, I don't know. But as soon as it went, the highest spot is right here, not Johnsonburg Station. It's right over here. After that, it was. No, you're not going to catch them. The runaway got to just picked up speed. It was like going right along.
That's quite a story.
Just an accident. Somebody didn't tie a brake down. If they had put a brake on one of the cars, that thing would never got going the way it did. But somehow that air bled off the train too. It lost its air.
Yeah, I heard someone lost his job because of that, but unfortunately nobody.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's one additional point to the 1958 runaway, which is not captured in this article in the Daily Record, and I saw in a Railfan publication maybe about 15 years or so ago. It said that the eastbound freight, which was diving into Greendell siding, the caboose on the end of that train was hit by the caboose of the runaway string going westbound. It was just a grazing. It took off the lights, the markers on the very edge of the caboose, but otherwise it was just a minor hit. But just imagine how close that was, that they were getting into that siding knowing that string was coming at them, and what would have happened if they didn't make it in completely or almost completely as they had. It could have been a catastrophic hit.
We have a jaunt coming up here. I don't know if we're gonna see. These have been dangerous in the past. Let's see. I'm not feeling lucky. Low bridge here. Let's see. But Big mud hole coming up. Stop. Question is how to get around this. Well, there's no good alternative here. Come on, there we go. We got a huge one coming up, I think. I'm almost certain of it. I think I hear Ramsey Road, which would be a good sign. It means we're not too far. We're coming up on Kears Corner Road in a little bit here. Oh, now we have a dilemma. When in doubt, use the right of way. Come on. What was it caught on? Believe this? Okay. Let's go down farther. Caught again. Boy. Not past the water yet. I think we're just, yeah, problem is now get back to the right away. All right. Okay. Boy, oh boy. Oh man, here go these gullies again. Oh, jeez. More water. Although it looks like it's dry up ahead. We'll see. Okay. Off we go. challenging I could. I think I can. Maybe wrong about the water. Yep. My brakes are having problems. Shoot. I really don't want to. Yeah. My bike is good for is keeping you something to balance yourself on when you're going over the water. Looks like we got at least 4 more water holes here. Go. Okay. What do we got here? Is that a... Well, it's a hole, but this thing to have any water in it. Maybe a little bit of mud. Let's keep going. Nothing worse than spinning your tires. Oh, we are Johnsonburg. And here's my videographer. Afraid the train's late. It was delayed.
Okay, made it to Johnsonburg. Just a little bit over 3 miles, but it was a tough 3 miles for a couple of reasons. Once it was warmer, but the water did play a factor. Ballast played a factor. And the uphill grade, found that uphill grade. There's no doubt that it was uphill, at least part of the way. Not complaining, got a good aerobic exercise in. Johnsonburg, well, we're going to start off from here next time and then head to Blairstown. But there's not too much left here. The station isn't in there. Well, what remains of the station is only the foundation. I presume this was the platform. There was an ice house and then a creamery also here. This is where Jerry Cruz saw the 1958 runaways coming through here, chased by an engine. That hill or slight grade I was coming up was probably what they were thinking was going to hopefully slow down that string of cement cars, but obviously it did not. And it slowed me down now, however, I have to say. But c'est la vie. So the rest of the way, however, from here to the Delaware Water Gap, Slateford Junction, is almost all downhill. If it's not flat, it's on a grade. So gravity will be on my side. So hopefully you'll look forward to Port C on the Lackawanna Cut-Off. And that'll be our next trip from here to Blairstown. See you then.